Hey guys, Drew back at you with Brother in the Void. And what we're going to do tonight is really slow down about what I'm trying to do here because I'm getting some responses, which is good, but it doesn't seem like you guys are quite getting it just yet, and that's my fault. And I understand why that's my fault. So, first of all, the reason it's my fault is because this is something that is intuitive to me. This is something that's natural to me. And just because that is, doesn't mean it's easy for me to explain. So it's kind of like, well, I'm an artist, right? So it's the same thing as me trying to teach one of you guys how to draw like I do, or how to paint like I do, or how to use Photoshop like I do, right? Hard to do, right? So this video is flow state number 2, where I am really going to slow down and explain this as clear as I possibly can. So we're talking about what's called the flow state and manifestation. That's what this is. Flow state and manifestation, okay? So you have your higher self and you have your lower self. Your lower self is the self that is you here in the physical, in this body that inhabits this brain, right? Your higher self it's the truest form of you in the astral realm, in the ether, okay? And you're connected to this, okay? And your higher self, it is what knows all about you, meaning it can see all of your timelines. It can see all of your potentials. It has access to all of those timelines. It has access to all of those potentials. And the stronger your connection is with that higher self of yours, that's when you start manifesting things. That's when you start bending reality and things just start funny things just start to happen in your favor because that's your higher self going, "Hey, all right, you got the right vibration for this. You've made the right choices. You put in the conviction, ownership. That's another part of it. I'll get to that in a moment. Here's the path of least resistance to a better way of life." That's what this is. Accessing your higher self and accessing the flow state to access that higher self, to lead yourself down the path of least resistance to a more positive and better life. Okay. So how does that work? What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, how do you access the higher self through a flow state? That's the main question. Well, again, I'm an artist, and I think that any artist can relate to this. Okay. Have you ever worked on an art project, be it a painting, writing, a novel, whatever, okay? And next thing you know, 8 hours have gone by. Feels like 1 hour, but 8 hours have gone by, right? That is the flow state right there. That's what it is. Now, Bashar talks about this. Now, keep in mind, again, we're talking about astral realm stuff, quantum stuff, time doesn't behave the same here. This is awesome, right? So Bashar has stated, this is Bashar's words, that when you are in that state where you feel like only an hour has gone by, but it's actually been 8, you are so engaged and you are so engaged with your higher self that you actually only aged that 1 hour. Amazing, right? That's the flow state, and that's the power of it. That's one of the powers of it. Never mind manifestation and all that. It can slow down your aging. I mean, this is major shit, guys, and it's no joke. I mean, there's science is starting to discover all of this shit that's backing this up. For example, okay, um, let's talk about what in spiritual terms is known as the Akashic field. Now, this has had this name forever, for centuries, the Akashic field. This has been well known in the spiritual sense, not in the scientific community. Well, in the scientific community, what's the equivalent of the Akashic field? It's the quantum foam that I spoke about earlier. So what is this? So Bashar speaks of God as all that is, which scientifically speaking is what surrounds us and permeates us all, which is quantum foam, the quantum field. It permeates everything. You, me, this couch, all of it. Okay? That is the universal consciousness. That is all that is. That is God, or what I personally like to call simply the source. That's what I call it. And we are but of multiple aspects of the source, experiencing life for the sake of experiencing life, which I spoke of in another video. Getting back to the task at hand, manifestation and all that. So, your thoughts have energy. This is something that science is finding out now. Billy Carson talks about it. Bashar talks about it. Science is finally catching up, right? When you think, we can now detect energy coming off of your skull just from the power of thought. And those are signals that are permeating this Akashic field, this quantum field, this universal consciousness, which your higher self is a part of. So you have your higher self, your universal consciousness, and it all permeates through you, and it also receives from you. Every thought you've ever had, anything you've ever did, it's been recorded. Creepy, I know, but it's out there in the Akashic records. It's all there. Okay, it's all there. Now, when you get into this flow state and when you connect, that's when you start to see things starting to happen. Now, this is where I'm really going to slow down and give you some really solid examples that I've given before, but I went too fast. I skipped through parts, right? So, the first example is this. I mentioned before that I had a long distance girlfriend in the Philippines, okay? I was all about her. I was with her for like 3, 4 years, right? This was someone that really made me look at myself. And this girl started this healing process for me, right? Kind of kicked it in, right? So I had been in sales, working these grind style jobs, right? They were fun, but still whatever. And I thought, and this girl made me think, man, I can do better. Just for myself. This wasn't coming from her, not you need a better job and all this crap. No, no, this was for me, right? So, number one, take ownership. Really look at yourself, right? So I said, all right, what am I really worth now? What I'm going to guess I could probably land 40 grand a year, right? Base pay. And remember, I'm in sales, so I'm looking at commissions too. So if I'm looking at 40, I'm really looking at 60, 70, maybe 80 or beyond, right? Could hit six figures. But my base, 40. I made a decision. I put a label of self-worth on myself. I made a decision that now I am not going for anything less than 40K a year base, right? So I made that decision. This girl, self improvement, made the decision. Then I went online. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I find these SDR and BDR jobs I have never seen before. Sales development representative, business development representative, really just fancy terms for appointment setter, right? Guys, I've been on Indeed for decades, okay? In sales. I've never seen these positions before. But all of a sudden, I slap some self worth on myself and make a decision, and boom, there it is. That's how it works. And because I was excited about it, I connected with my higher self. Once I put a label of self worth on myself, and once I made that decision, all of a sudden I'm excited to hop on Indeed and okay, I've made this decision. What's on here? Nothing I ain't done before. I've done all this before, but this was different because I was leveling up, right? And because I leveled up and I was excited about it, all of a sudden I saw something I never saw before. That's how it works. That's what I'm trying to show you. But there's ways to do it, and a lot of it comes down to perspective, right? So let's move on with me using myself as an example, okay? Again, I need to slow down because I said something before that was not correct. And I want to be as honest as possible with you guys and very transparent, okay? What I had said was, well, first of all, I said that we never gave our dog a bath before. That's just a lie. We cleaned the dog, okay? We sprayed him out back with the hose, all right? So anyone who caught on to that one, I caught on to that myself. Yeah, we cleaned our dog. So there was one that I kind of saw that video. I was like, man, yeah, we bathed our dog. That was horrible. But anyway, and another one is with this apartment, right? So I said that this was my first apartment. No, that is completely incorrect. I've had my own apartments before. However, as I've also said before, I come from a family with money. This was my apartment that I paid for, that I worked from the ground up for myself with all the hell that I've gone through and finally took some pride in it and filled it with all my own shit that I all paid for all myself and made it my fucking sanctuary. Okay? So, when I say it was my first apartment, it was my first apartment on my own, okay? And I was very proud of that. Now, and again, and this comes down to perspective, right? So, you guys might be saying, well, Drew, you kind of couch surfing now. Who are you to give advice? Don't forget, Light Warrior, we're built for the shit in your face. Let's do this. Let's do this, okay? First of all, I've never been one for society standards. Never, ever, ever. Oh, you got to go to college for this and get married by this age and have a house and blah, 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 blah. Why? All I ever wanted to be was an artist and do my own thing. Play some video games, fall in love maybe, that'd be great. Make some money. Oh yeah, but I want to do it my way. Not you don't tell me what to do. Please. Piss off, right? That's just me. And that's just the kind of person that I am. But point is that that's why I see things the way that I do and that's why I'm here to share these experiences because I do have a different, unique perspective on life. I really do. My childhood and everything is so unique. So, but to slow down, now let's talk about perspective. What did I learn in Las Vegas with this apartment, right? This is where I'm going next. So I started with the one bedroom apartment, which you guys have all seen. I've posted photos of it. That's how much I loved it, right? How much pride I had with my studio and my unboxing videos and my video games and work from home area and all this, right? But ultimately, I wanted a two-bedroom apartment because I do have a son out there that I have plan on having come by and seeing dad, right? So I want to be ready for that, have a two-bedroom apartment. However, I have had also been in Vegas for quite a long time, like 11 years, and I was sick of the Vegas heat. It got old. I'm finally done with it, right? I'm from Boston. Vegas heat killed me. Fuck the dry heat. I'll take my humidity back, right? So here comes this, and then all of a sudden I'm running through this lesson of self-worth and I'm job hopping because I'm just not satisfied, right? Why should I be, right? So I'm job hopping and I'm hoping to God I don't lose this apartment. I spoke about all this in my other video, right? And I slip up and I lose it, right? Fuck it, right? Self-ownership. Now I did have a plan in case that happened, right? And I ran that plan as long as I could, and it just didn't last. And well, here I am on a couch, right? But the thing that I learned was, and again, we got to go back to perspective and experience, right? This apartment complex, I had never heard of this before. I've never heard of a weekly before, right? I've heard of a hotel, I've heard of a motel, never heard of a weekly till I got out to Vegas. So that was cool. This particular company, uh, everything's included in the rent, water, electricity, all of it, right? Trash, everything. And on top of that, they have a rewards program. So the more you pay rent, the more rewards you build up for free rent, not just knickknacks and shit, free rent, right? Why would I want to live any other way? I thought this was amazing. Are you fucking kidding me, right? Oh, well, Drew, you don't have a house. You don't have ownership. You don't have a mortgage. Okay, Light Warrior. We like to break the system, right? Check this out. Why the fuck do I want a house? Why the fuck do I want a mortgage? Let's really think about this. Let's really think about this. Number one, I got to pay to fix everything? Fuck that. I would rather bitch about something and have you fix it, and it's included in my rent. That's number one. Ease, convenience. Fuck all that. You fix the roof. I don't want to pay for it. You fix the flooding. I don't want to pay for it. Fuck all that. That's number one. Well, Drew, you don't have a mortgage. You don't have anything to borrow off of. What are you going to do? Guys, I would rather invest, I would rather live cheaply, get rewards back on rent and get free rent and put that in liquid assets, investments. Why do I want to borrow from myself off a mortgage? That's stupid. I mean, unless I'm and I mean, if you're elderly, okay, that might be one thing. If you got kids you want to leave the house to, that might be one thing. But I can still do all that. I still have time. But I don't want to do it now. I'd rather bulk up and save that money and stash it away and grow some GDP, some gains, right? So at least that's my plan. That's how I view things because I think outside the box. I don't pay attention to society's crap. It's a trap, most of it. Don't get me started. And that's another thing. So again, that's a difference between a light warrior and a light worker, right? We dig, we take ownership, we're looking for the next adventure, and we're always looking to level up. So if you're someone that's looking to do the same and face things head on, I'm your guy. Now, if you're someone who just kind of skates along life, makes excuses for yourself, uses spiritual excuses, and all you want is positivity and kumbaya, right? Go to a regular light worker. Light warrior here. I'm not here for that. No, I'm here to manifest. I'm here to build my future. I'm here to build to bend reality to what I want. Not just build a future, build what I want, right? That's the name of the game, right? So that's the deal, guys. That's what I'm here to do. So let's get back to this apartment. So what did I learn? So now I hop online, right? So this is an opportunity, like I just said, to level up. Light warriors are always looking to level up. What's the next thing, right? So take what you learn and refine it. Next thing you know, yes, I know it's my favorite phrase. You guys are probably already dogging me for that. But anyways, next thing you know, I'm couch surfing, but you know what? While I'm couch surfing, I'm online. I'm looking at, hey, is this Siegel Suites company anywhere else in America? I've never heard of these guys. Well, oh, hey, look, there's one in Ohio. Boom, right? Oh, look, there's a chance to refine my environment, to get that two-bedroom apartment instead of a one-bedroom for my son, right? To the universe is now gifting me with an opportunity to start again in an area that's more my type of climate. Bostonian, Four Seasons, Ohio. Perfect. Yeah, I'm probably not going to like the winter, whatever, but fuck this heat. I'm so tired of it, right? Right? So again, it's perspective, right? Now, getting back to the Akashic field and it reading your thoughts, number two is we've been taught how to approach that all wrong with prayers and hoping and wishing. No, no, no. Bad prayer, bad wisher. No, 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 no. Don't do that. No. Demand it, command it. Billy Carson talks about this one a lot. Billy Carson talks about this one. Um, when you're sending out those thoughts, when the Akashic field can listen to what you're thinking about, it doesn't want to hear, oh, I hope this. Oh, I really want to have that someday. No, I want that. I don't want it. It's happening. It's happening. Take that apartment in my head that's in Ohio and already pictured it full of all my shit, full of my new computer and my room decked out for my son and my artist loft and my gaming room, all that shit, right? Boom, I already have it. It's already there. There's a point in this timeline framework somewhere where that's happening and that's where I'm going. You command it. You think it. You don't think it, you know it. It's there. Just got to get there. And the more you think that way, all of a sudden that's when the universes start gonna, I don't know, giving you discounts on a plane ticket. All of a sudden you run into this girl and have a really cool conversation that could lead somewhere down the road. All of a sudden you get into this apartment and hey, They're running a special. You're getting 500 bucks off for the month or some shit. Weird shit like that's going to start happening. Shit's going to get removed. Negativity gets removed. Blockers get removed. You're in the flow. You're getting what you desire because you command it, because you take ownership of it, because you have pride and you've made a decision. That's part one. Part two, now once you've figured it out, once you've got that in your mind and what you want, then you take a step back, take a breather, and then you go into the flow state, right? Then you say, okay, part one is done. Made the decision. That's what I want. This is what I'm picturing. Cool. Got it. Now, let's go for a jog. Let's go for a ride in the car, rocking out to some music, high as fuck, smoking a joint. Whatever the fuck your thing is that makes you all jazzed up, do that. Just forget about life for a while. Be in the moment, right? And that's when all those things are going to start happening. All of a sudden, you get a phone call, right? Someone you haven't thought of before, but someone you haven't thought of in a while, but hey, there they are. You're just thinking of them. How funny, right? Things like that. Um, Bashar told a great story about this woman that she wanted to travel the world, but she didn't have the money, right? So she just approached the airline and said, "Hey, I'm a photographer. If you guys pay me to take these photos around the world, I'd like to travel for free, but I'll do that in exchange." And she got the deal. I mean, it's just, and that's another thing about abundance. It's not always about money either. Abundance needs to be viewed in many different ways. Me couch surfing, me having this space, that is a form of abundance. I was cut a break, right? That's abundance. Um, the apartment manager, I said in a previous video that they didn't charge me for damages. They very well fucking could have. I had acoustic paneling everywhere. They had to tear all that shit down. But you know what? I was a good tenant. Never had any complaints, right? They didn't bother charging me for damages. That's a form of abundance. Be great. And that's another thing. Have gratitude. Be grateful. The more you're grateful and have gratitude for these gifts, the more you're going to get them via the universe. Not your friends, not your boss, not anything from the universe itself. It will come in from the void. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. That's what I'm trying to convey. This is called the flow state, which leads to connecting to your higher self, which leads to manifestations, synchronicities, which lead to the path of least resistance towards a better life. That's what this is. So, Drew Henry, brother of the void, I hope to hear from you guys. God bless.